How's everybody doing? We got Coach Mike away today, so he might be joining us later. I'm not sure. We'll see. Maybe he'll surprise us. But other than that, we've got Monday footage to get into, so let's get to it. Pat and Danny starting us off front and center. Let's see, we got, looks like Austin and someone. Oh, maybe Matt? No, I don't know. And then Caleb smashing somebody as well. Oh, Caleb and Ronnie. So it looks like Pat and Danny kind of just have a non-active grip fight going on here. So remember, if you're going to be working collar ties, you don't want to leave them hanging out there for too long. They could easily be used against you. Definitely go in with a plan when it comes to your grip fight. Have more of a positive, forward moving fight. Nice sweep, Danny. When you're grip fighting. Let's go back and look at that. So kind of a wing sweep from Danny. Pat is loaded up on Danny's leg. It looks like Danny's setting up a whizzer here. And then just gets the underhook. Elevates, takes him over. Oh, and yeah, Brooke and I, we had a couple fun battles this evening. I think she's going to throw me at some point here, sooner than later. What did Caleb just do there? Oh, Ronnie did it. Okay, cool. Ronnie hitting Caleb with a little of his own medicine. Just didn't get the roll. Didn't get to take top position with it, so got to fight through on that. So Brooke did a really good job here of negating, great job there. Negating the efficacy of my underhook. Every time I try to fight for an underhook on her, she hit me with these whizzers, and started attacking that throw that she just got. So see if I could catch it. I know this is a favorite of Coach Luke, but she's got basically like a rear naked choke grip on my arm up at the shoulder, which makes it very difficult for me to extract my arm when she like crunches on that. I'm not sure what I was thinking here as far as like maybe trying to counter, but her foot placement is, well, my foot placement is awful for what she's about to do to me. She can, very easily just step essentially right behind me. Okay, she's kind of, all right, so she's just outside my foot as she hits the sacrifice throw and just launches me across the mat. That was a really, really good takedown. Really annoying. And she kept going for it. I think that may have been the third attempt, and she finally hit it on me. And then it's just subject to her misery for the next few minutes. Very, very bam. What's Danny doing here? So Danny's taking advantage of some of the space he's creating. So he's got an arm-in guillotine. Pat's probably doing a lot to defend it, but that gives Danny the opportunity to come up from that seated position and advance, which I don't know. I don't have great arm-in guillotines, so that's a path that I think is a really good one to take. Like if you feel like you can't get under the neck and be effective there, you know, there is no rule that says you have to play as a bottom opponent, you know, sitting on your butt. Definitely come up and advance your position, or fight turtle or whatever. I definitely get revenge on Brooke later. Steven, I don't think you were there Monday night, right? Yeah, you've been sitting out. Kind of like a few streams ago, you had a really good, like, I don't know if you call it a takedown or a sweep, because I don't totally remember it, but you just like disconnected her from the earth and like moved her around. And I did something pretty similar, which I'm very stoked to look at on film. Hopefully, Brooke, I don't know if you're in the chat, but you better get on and watch this. Let's go back a little bit. Okay, so Pat and Danny reset. Okay. Danny looking for a knee slide. Pat's got a killer bite with his legs. That's I mean, we saw him really pestering Coach Mike with it the other day in gi. I think on Sunday when we went over the stream, and even in no gi, it's a difficult one to slide past. What's up, James? How you doing, bud? How's your neck feeling? Hoping for some progress. Oh, Brooke and I kept going because I mean, oh, we started like halfway through the round, that's why. And I'm certainly not going to let her get out of this position for free. Yeah, Pat's really he can, I don't want to say he's like stalling you from there, but he's absolutely not letting you pass without good technique and really really deliberate movement. Sorry to hear that, man. That's a real bummer. I know neck injuries can just be, I don't know, they're nagging. Like, it sucks when you have to like let them rest for a while before you can even think about training or lifting or anything like that. Well, I'm hoping it's not that long, man. We're definitely missing your presence on the mat. I need you to keep beating up Cole, you know? Oh, what did I get Brooke with? Kind of a shitty Uchimata. Alright, what's up with Caleb and Mike here? So look at Mike making really effective use of that V-frame, touching his elbow to his knee and keeping his side guard in place. I mean, he's not even using his hand, you know, it's purely forearm and knee. Looks like Caleb smashes past it. Okay, there we go. So Caleb's got control over the ankle, separates the elbow. I might get that off. Mike just gave him a little bridge. Caleb, you can absolutely, like, pass him out from there. What's up with Joe over here? So Joe and Duncan over in the corner. Joe looking good, getting a little elevation on the hook sweep. Good. Nice. That move's come such a long way for you, man, since, I mean, hell, you know, 3 or 4 months ago, I think we did a bit of a deep dive on the stream talking about that. Now you're hitting them left and right. This chat is so much more wholesome than anything on the mats. I love it. So I just want to look at Mike and Caleb here. Caleb trying to do the same thing he does to me, grabbing like the bottom side leg to prevent Mike from getting to turtle. Ronnie, you got to get that leg free and past Danny. I mean, he doesn't have like a right there. Yeah, good, exactly. I think that was preventable, Ronnie. Like, just utilizing a knee slide here, right? When Danny's not biting on your legs like that. I didn't say you were stupid. I'm not disagreeing. But you had a good opportunity. It's just a matter of feeling that your leg's free. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, Caleb's got this like, I don't know. It's just a stupid simple way to like negate the pendulum of your legs to try to get the turtle when he's like smashing you from side control. It's weird too because he's the first one that's really done that consistently. I feel, at least with me, I don't know if anybody else at the school has experienced that with other students, but he uses it to pretty great success. Fortunately, though, we get to watch him get strangled out with a triangle from Mike. I'm getting smashed out of a cross Ashi. Did I ever even... I feel like at one point I maybe had Brooke. Yeah. So there you go. I had leg isolation. I think I had heel exposure at one point. I'm just not going to crank anything like that. I just had to make sure so I feel good about myself for getting smashed by Brooke over and over. And then we reset. All right, let's see what Caleb does with a body lock opportunity. Really good defense there from Mike, trying to hit the shoulder crunch sweep. What's up, Deathcore? How you doing, bud? What do I... I was saying... Let's go back and find it real quick. You know, the little move where you grab the leg, right, you go for the bottom leg right here to try to prevent us from getting the turtle to re-guard from your side control. Just giving you props on how effective you are at using that, but now that you're here, I'll be sure to stop praising you. Oh, thanks for the gift sub, Deathcore. To Caleb, finally you're subscribed to me, whether you like it or not. Look at that, you got the instant flare too. You got the little lion. Hell yeah, love it. What happened with Brooke here? Oh, damn. What was I? This was Monday, so I wasn't doing the... Oh, I think I just... What did I do? I think I was going for like an arm spin, kind of like what we've seen Mitch do, but I just had no good control over the arm. It would have looked so cool if I got it. Whatever, jackal. Yo, props to Deathcore. Always always come into the to the stream, buying our rash guards. We're not even looking at video of him, and he supports us. What's up, Austin? How you doing, bud? Really appreciate you, Deathcore. Hell yeah, that would be awesome, dude. Absolutely rep that. Austin doing a great job getting behind me in the standing game. Getting the takedown. Couldn't break his grips, so I had to immediately start worrying about having my back taken. Let's see, Danny and Joe. These two have been having battles lately. Danny, almost, well, looking for the armbar, just didn't have good hip position. Coming up on the guillotine on Austin, trying to pass. Looks like Austin and Caleb are going over body lock passing, I want to say. Joe, that was sick. All right, let's look at this. So here's what I really like about this. Danny locks up his close guard. Joe immediately says, all right, let's work my standing guard break. Got my hands on the biceps. Head over his head, standing up to my upright position. Doesn't quite get to a full stand. Okay, there he goes. Danny starts going in on the attack. Starts controlling Joe's posture, which he was only able to do because Joe is hinging at the hips here. Right, he came down. Maybe he was feeling off balance. He was concerned with Danny's arm placement. For whatever reason, Danny takes control of the head. And like, first great thing, you don't have to go down with the ship with the standing guard break. You get your posture broken. Nothing says you got to stay standing. You can get back to your knees. You could start working your inside bicep ties, getting control of his grips, and try again. Right? It looks like Danny, at the same time, I think Joe was probably going to try to jump back to the standing guard break. Danny opted to open his guard and possibly work, you know, maybe a scissor sweep or go to, we could see him kind of kinking his hips, working from the side. Joe realizes the opportunity, slips the knee through with the quickness. We'll go a few frames at a time. Gets the knee through, hits the knee cut, pins it, turns the corner, slides right by, and gets a great guard pass. That was really good. So just like seeing the attempt at working the standing guard break, adapting when the move isn't working, transitioning to something when a new opportunity comes up, not getting myopic, not getting so focused on hitting one move that you miss other opportunities. So really, really solid. I need to start making clips of this stuff again for Instagram. Let's see what happens with them next. So of course Danny's not going to take this laying down. That looks so uncomfortable. Joe's just twisting Danny's spine up, but lands himself in a nasty reverse triangle. Damn, you guys have seriously been having killer matches. So looked like Danny was trying to set up for an armbar again, maybe. Joe takes top position and is trying to avoid getting triangle. This is such a weird spot to be in for Joe that I can understand having to try to adapt your way through this and not getting right to where you want to be. And Danny just always knows how to lock up a triangle, like from any angle. So Joe's got his arm in. Let's go back real quick. I wish I could see this a little bit better. Joe leaves his left arm behind. Danny's in. This is like an excellent reverse triangle too, because Danny's knee is probably right at ear level with Joe's ear, which is about as far up as you want it to be. You've heard me say a million times, get the knee below the ear. I could tell it just with how soon Joe's put into this that he's tapping. Danny had a great angle on that. That was killer. So this is a sequence I like to use often from half guard where my leg is trapped. It looks like I'm starting this from kind of a, let's see, how is my leg trapped here? So Austin's got me in a strange, it's not the standard way I use this move. I would typically do it if Austin's leg had captured my other leg. So that would be a more traditional half guard. I'm actually, let me go back. Let's see how I even got here. So he's got me, let's see, I got mount on him. He captures my ankle. Okay, so I have turned away from him. This is not typically how I would approach this move. So this one's kind of new to me, but the mechanics are pretty similar. In any case, I start to attack a Kimura, but because my leg is trapped, I don't have the power to finish by stepping over his head with the leg that's trapped, lifting his shoulders off the mat, and applying the finishing torque. So what I do is I plant my head, I get my hips up as high as I can, and I start to use my shoelaces of my free leg to kip myself out, get my leg free, and go up to the T Kimura position here, where I am mostly perpendicular with Austin. Just standard Kimura trap stuff. We've done this a bunch in class before. But this is again another example of, we've talked about loose passing, tight passing, and using the threat of submission to pass. This is another example of the third one. It's not always guillotines or darces that you would use as the submission threat. You can also attack Kimuras too. You just got to be ready to elevate and get to the position above his shoulders. Now the cool part is when he goes to lean up to me, in this way I can push him back down. I could work to take his back and attack from there. If he chose to turn the other way, all he's doing is exposing his back and helping me put his own knuckles behind his back and getting a Kimura. So he's rolling up the way that he is not, or that he's kind of the way that I want him to, and then I just get to take advantage and get on the back. So it's another good option for anybody when you guys are trapped in half guard, or your leg is trapped in half guard. Maybe you've gotten your knee free, and like Pat, for example, is hanging on with it. It's another fun way to get out. Oh, this was a strange spot that Austin caught me in. Austin, you remember this? So I was genuinely curious if from this position, if I had any sort of control over his hips with the heel exposure here, to see if I could hit some strange, out, like, it would be an inside heel hook variation. We're in like a weird, what's up, Joe? We're in a weird spot where I don't know if I could. I think we decided that at least tonight there was nothing there, so I just opted to go for a triangle. Yeah, that was a strange spot. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Let's go back and look at Danny and Joe here. So this is an excellent half guard scenario they're working. It looks like Danny, you're trying to work maybe a deep half. I think you guys went over that last Thursday too. So Joe applying a nice whizzer. All right, and Danny opting to, looks like trying to go back to close guard. So Danny, remember, and I'm sure you probably already know now that you're looking at it, you had the, I'm sorry, if Joe didn't have the whizzer, you could opt to take the back with a big shoulder shrug. Since he has the whizzer and you can't head to that route, you can actually do what Joe's trying to do to you and hit the knee tap double. And then, yeah, Joe, there was really, really great guard pass you did earlier that we covered. So Danny, you can do what Joe's trying to do to you right now, hit a knee tap double on him, or once right here how you're driving into him and he's not moving, tells me he's driving into you too. And that's where you can dive through on that roll through sweep. And if Joe's committed to that whizzer, and maybe if you're hugging his waist a bit tighter and he can't pull that whizzer out, you can hit the roll through sweep. If he does manage to pull it out, you get to cycle back through. Now his whizzer's out, so you can try to hit a back take and all the infinite loops from there. Danny getting the arm triangle. In fact, let's see how that. I missed that. Interesting. It's funny how you can go from this dominant top controlling position, right? This case, Danny's already started to break it down a bit by getting close to you, getting his legs tangled up with yours, and working to get out the back or sweep you over. But you notice, even when you're in an offensive position, if there's nothing between your shoulder and your neck, and his head is, underneath you, like you got him in a headlock right now, you're never too far away from an arm triangle or katagatame. Danny manages to keep his head there. Hip heists up, switches out. And now that arm that was just wrapped around the head is now getting used against you. Nice go behind. That's quick. Setting up off of the arm drag. Okay. That was kind of like a double wrist arm drag. Like he didn't go for the traditional up the shoulder. Kind of pulled his wrist by. Try to circle around the back. like there's enough time left on the clock here. Let's see if Joe gets it. Danny, it looks like you've gotten one leg off. Okay, great. Killer. Way to keep moving. All of this being done once you feel like your neck is safe and you're not fighting legs with arms or anything like that in a dangerous way. You're protecting your neck. Joe doesn't have that bottom underhook or the bottom hook of his leg. Lets you roll out. And you take top position. So close on that sweep. Right, Duncan and Mike. I think Pat and I go here. So I think over the next few, I don't know, however long Mike decides to focus on it, could be months, we're going to see him working a lot on his guard passing. And he and I think Monday night we were talking about this. I'll try to point it out if I see any good examples. So far, this is, let's see. He and I might go over it on camera if we roll later. But we're going to see him controlling the knees. He's going to be stepping his feet out way past our legs so that we can't hook them with like those active hooks we like to use. And notice how he gets Duncan moving one way. Right, Mike really commits to moving in one direction. Duncan follows, squares up. Come on, where are we? There we go. He keeps Duncan going, hits a quick switch back in the other direction. Duncan goes to re-guard again. And we're going to see Mike start hitting a lot of feints, a lot of sidestepping, back and forth, getting us to commit one way. He helps us go that way. He switches back in the other direction. So I think he's going to get pretty solid at working on those like Toriando passes. Here Caleb is imploring Pat to foot sweep me, which I just wasn't having. Talk a little smack. Yeah, that was a great roll, man. You and Danny are just like get savage every time now, I feel like. But it's all good. Like you guys are rolling with some real purpose, showcasing a lot of good technique and good strategy. All right, so Duncan, if you watch this, there aren't many times I'm ever going to advise you to hug over the waist like that. All you're giving him is a wide open elbow, totally isolated from your body, which is a very weak spot. You're not too far away from getting armbarred with a lat armbar where Mike's not even holding your wrist, but he's like kind of reverse overhooking your arm. That one's tight as hell and really sucks. Just keep that in mind. Always want to frame. When in doubt, if you have no idea what else to do, just get that arm in, try to frame across his hips or his shoulders if the position requires. Who's Austin torturing over there? Oh, Danny. Poor Danny. Austin working up to a triangle. Nice. Triangle or an armbar? One or the other. So like I was alluding to earlier with Austin and the use of the Kimura for the pass, this Kimura that I get on Pat. I was talking about how with my leg trapped, I can't use the Kimura to hit like the more powerful position on the finish. And that's the position I'm talking about. So again, it was weird the way I was configured. But this is like a position for a Kimura when you want to finish it. It controls the head and the shoulders really well and allows you to pull your elbow up to get the shoulder off the mat and to actually apply braking force, which, I'm not doing on Pat. All right, Duncan, you're in a not terrible spot right now. Let's rewind a little bit. And anybody else in the chat playing around with leg locks here, I wouldn't be surprised if you guys have found yourself in this configuration before, only to have your opponent slip out and you not have any real significant threat on the leg. The reason is probably obvious to some of you. Mike's knee is free, right? It's not on this side of Duncan's legs, so Duncan doesn't have enough control over the leg to be dangerous. But it looks like Duncan's thinking, if I triangle my leg somehow, or maybe I can get a better bite on his leg. What he really needs to do here is extend this leg. Come on, where's my pointer? Extend this leg in this direction and capture Mike's knee. He needs to recapture the knee. So he would extend it, capture it, and try to pull it back with his legs. And he's got that arm grip too, so he can kind of straighten his body out to recapture the knee. But that's going to give him a fighting chance from this like backside leg lock position. I don't know, Steven. I see him on Instagram all the time, so I pretend like I know about him. Alternative to card. Yeah, that's exactly what they are. But that would, Duncan's very close now. Mike has control over Duncan's ankle right now of his bottom leg, so that might be more difficult to hit that at this point. But something to look for next time you guys find yourself in that position. There we go. Duncan's attacking the proper leg now. Good. I've got Matt and Caleb. Battle of the Titans over here. Pat's doing a great job slowly working this body lock position, trying to pass around my legs. I really have to fight with you guys, especially you bigger guys, to shut down your body locks these days. You guys are doing really great at just controlling the hips and getting to better spots. Yeah, Steven, ignore everything I said. I don't want you learning any of that. Coach Luke said you're not allowed to do leg locks anymore, so too bad. What happened with Matt and Caleb? Is it hidden behind the pillar here? Notice how much pressure Matt's able to maintain despite how much he's moving around his opponents. Oh, he guillotined me with that. I think it was the same night. It might be after this roll. Yeah, dude. Passing guard sucks. But yeah, real quick. Let's look at this again. So Matt's super mobile, but just constantly bearing down. Controlling Caleb here at the end of his spine, right, which is his big old head, getting him to turn back over, right? Heavy crossface, putting him to his back. Using the guillotine to advance his position. And then he's got this like 5-finger guillotine he does, where I you know, we can't see his grip right now, but I imagine he's cupping the chin, because his elbow's poking out the side here, so I don't think he's super deep on that. But yeah, he does that to me later, and it was like, it's like, oh, he doesn't have a grip locked up, I can get out of this. And I waited and waited and waited until my trachea was getting crushed. Yeah, he's good at that. Let's look at this armbar. So Pat, like everybody, has been shutting down my my back, my rear naked strangle. So I think I opt to try to go to an armbar or a similar Kimura position like that T Kimura we talked about. Oh no, I was wrong. I just lock up a Kimura grip, circle around, get the head side leg over first, work to the 3/4 armbar position, which is where I have, instead of over the body, I have my leg, what would be my body side leg, woven through his arms and over his neck with my ankles crossed, digging into his neck. That's the 3/4 armbar position. And here, since, like, look at his grip, right? He's got a pretty tight wrist to wrist grip here. I think I was worried about him trying to like swing up and put me down, so I opt to go up to a mounted armbar position. Here's what's a bit technical about this is, if I did just have a full, you know, regular armbar, one leg over the face, one leg over the body, when I decide to go to mount, I take my head side leg off of his head, right? So that gives him a really great opportunity to get free, right? There goes all of my control over his head and shoulders, or most of my control. But with the 3/4 variation, where I still had this leg over his, well, I have one shoulder in between my legs, but I have a leg over his neck on the far side, I can start to lean forward, get up over top, and maintain control, get my head side leg back into position. And then now I have the full use, the extension of my whole posterior chain to fight this arm grip. Notice how I'm planting on my hand as long as I need to stay stable, to where, you know, Pat's not you know, bridging hard and like rolling me to my back or something like that. I can maintain really heavy forward pressure. I feel that I have his elbow captured, and I don't have to worry about him slipping it at this point. Now it's, like I said, if I was really trying to, like, you know, finish my opponent, full back extension, take the arm with me. We saw, you know, I mean, man, there are countless clips of that in matches. One of the more recent ones that comes to mind is Gordon Ryan and Roberto Jimenez. Good one to watch. It starts from mount, kind of ends with Gordon on his side, I think. But all of the mechanics of the mounted armbar are there. Yeah, I'll have to talk to Matt about that, because that's a really unique grip variation, and it works so well for him. I want to see what he's doing and what he's thinking when he's hitting that. Oh yeah. Now Matt and I go, and he'll strangle the shit out of me. It sucked when he hit that single on me. All I was thinking was like, don't walk away, don't walk away. I can like hit a scissor, you know, a scissor takedown maybe. But he just kept going back, controlling me, pulling me, and then yanks right by on the leg drag and gets me down. So right here, maybe? I don't know, we'll see. What are Caleb and Brooke doing? Caleb hits his sacrifice. Oops, a daisy, up and over. Doing everything I can to try to keep my legs between Matt and I. Yeah, there it is. Let's see how early he set that up. So I think he must have it like right here. I block his hand, but he's got the other hand in good enough position that he says, whatever, I'll just mount you and strangle you. And I'm like, okay. You could see I'm trying to like slip my head out of his elbow. But his grip was right across the chin. And I guess it maybe his own hip or thigh is kind of like wedging it in place. And then let's see how much he arches his back here. Not a whole hell of a lot. I mean, he's definitely pulling up on it. But yeah, that's a really cool move. I gotta pick his brain on that one. He's asking me if it was a neck crank, and I'm like, no, man, you were strangling me. All right, Mike and Joe. Be a good one. Sometimes I feel like even if I don't want to play that like single leg up the middle between Matt's legs, like he just forces me there, whether or not I like it. I think we were joking when we were rolling one time that he has like Dalsim legs and arms, like from Street Fighter. Here, I wasn't too concerned with the leg attack, right? He had me in like in a cross ashi. It was when I started to try to counterattack him as my defense that I kind of just I didn't have enough. I guess my defensive posture wasn't good enough. Like I kind of lost sight of like what my legs were doing, and Matt totally jumped on the opportunity and took advantage. Trying to use offense as a defense there, but Matt definitely got the best of that exchange. Yeah, I was like, did I tap you somehow? It was just too sweaty. Try to go for the De La Riva sweep. Oh, Joe. You like slipped right out of that. Watch your left foot. Like ride forward. Just keep going. I don't think that that's how you wanted that to go. I don't remember how I managed to get out of Matt's back mount. Guess I just frustrated him enough to try to switch to mount. See if Mike did any of his guard passing stuff here. Looks like he's just dealing with Joe's leg entrance, or attempted leg entrance. Trying to get into single leg X on Matt. Did not work for me. Big back steps from him all the way around my guard. Mike with an armbar. Yeah, so Mike's really effective in this dorsal, like the dorsal Kimura position. He has just a remarkable ability to fish his arm underneath one of your elbows. So it looks like right here he's starting to dig under. So you can see his left arm is looking to dig up under. He's just slowly wedging his way in. He'll lift you up, and as you try to turn back down, he just slides his wrist under your elbow even more. And then once he gets his grip, it's ridiculously tight. Been there. Sweet relief of the bell. Danny's just bullying Caleb. Counter throw Mike was talking about. Wait a minute, Joe. I think I missed what you said. A counter throw that you got him with. Is it here? Was it earlier? Or did I comment on it and just already forgot? That's him doing it to you. Just want to give you your credit if you hit him with something good. Ah, there we go. Okay. Nice. So Mike was looking for... He's got his underhook in. Looks like he's stepping in for an Uchimata. Right? But he's got... So with the underhook... And you're pretty upright. It's going to be hard to... Like... Mike would ideally like to kind of bend you down there, like break your posture a bit. Looks like you're pretty stable, and then, like, that's a great counter. I know there's a name for this move. I can't remember what it's called, but that's sick, really sick. Let's look at that one more time. Let's go regular speed. Great composure. And then your hand towards his waist here, definitely a big help in countering that and taking him down. And the beautiful thing about that move, you land past his guard, so you don't have to fight a legs battle there. That was killer, man. I don't know how I missed that. Yeah, the Uchimata, when you can hit it, it looks great. We'll see me destroy Brooke with it later, which I can't wait to get to. but it does, you know, it's one of those judo techniques that does leave you vulnerable by way of back exposure if you don't have like decent grips. And then just, I mean, really just like any throw, if you get re-rolled with it, you end up in a bad spot. So, focus on what's going on with Mike here for a second. So I'm hitting a leg drag on him, keeping a tight knee to pass his guard. Back step to try to get into a cross ashi. I mean, I get into a cross ashi. Now it's just a matter of exposing his heel, which is always a chore. So you can tell I'm trying to, and yeah, he starts digging my legs out, so I know I gotta bail. I was trying to control at the knuckle line of his foot, and he manages to hide his heel effectively enough that it really doesn't matter. Caleb, get in on a leg. Thank you. Ugh. That was sick. So in on the leg. Danny hits you with kind of like a 100%er sort of grip. But you're not taking any of his shit, and you roll up into north-south. That was good. Way to not accept it. What did Mike not accept from me? Okay, so... I remember this exchange. I think Mike shoots on me at some point. Maybe it was before this. Yeah, okay, it was right there. I slip out. I hit a counter feint just to see his reaction. He doesn't go down, so I quickly follow up. Let's look at it in regular speed. I quickly follow up the feint with an actual shot, trying to hit a double. And like I could feel I almost was able to cut the angle there. I probably should have gone in the other direction since my head is on his right side. But I think I was kind of caught there. And he manages to square his hips up. But just, you know, even though the takedown failed, it's a good example of the use of a feint to set up a shot. Not the best example, but the concept's there of a reshot, which is when your opponent shoots on you, you stuff it or sprawl and then immediately shoot on him. That's another great entrance. So quickly reacting, like you don't just have to sprawl and then reset and get back to your wrestling stance. You can sprawl, he can bail, and you immediately shoot on him, because he's expecting you to just get back to your wrestling stance and kind of recoup. Really, really great opportunity that I totally bungled. Oh, and then even more than that, when he gets me turtled up, starts to take the back. Let's see. How did I handle this? Let's get my legs up. Okay, so I turn towards him, but he doesn't let me get my right arm out, which is why I kind of get stuck here. I remember, like, my arm was burning trying to, like, find its way through, because he's on the, like, there's a real immediate threat of a back take here. You can see he's trying to get his leg over top of me to hoist himself up and circle around to the back. And I managed to, well, I think he created a bit of space, and I managed to get my arm free. But the threat was there the whole time. This is fun. You're going to see Mike really working his loose passing over the next few months. And you're going to see me really trying to work tight passing, body locks. And you're going to see us both probably suck at it a lot. Which I'm pretty sure I suck at here. Trying to do my best to shelf his right leg across both of mine. Much easier said than done. And the whole time he's using this whizzer, overhook position on me. Something we see Cole do a lot. Did you guys just reset? Okay, you're just close to the wall. Which makes me have to bail because I didn't want to be easily swept over with that overhook. We got Caleb, or not Caleb. We got Austin and Joe. Let's catch up with Austin and Joe real quick. Joe looking for a knee slide or knee cut. Good job controlling the head. Nice. Excellent. Just quick baseball slide right through. That's how those passes need to be finished a lot of times. You know, you get your shoelaces caught behind and you think, oh, I gotta play tug of war to get my leg out. And normally you can just get it out with a quick hip switch. Just like that, throwing the leg by. Good shoulder pressure. Making it really difficult for Austin to turn back towards you and get his side guard in. He's got a frame on your hips, but it looks like there's a bit of a struggle to try to use that to get a second frame in. And Austin, for you, you know, it's hard to see what your other leg is doing, but at least your left leg here was kind of up in the air, like there. It's not connected to the ground. I'm not sure. Okay, so you're kind of doing one of my that little regard I like to try to do. Okay, now you're playing your game. I was just gonna say, if if your legs are up in the air, you don't have a great connection with the ground. You're not gonna be able to like use bridging effectively, which can be useful when you're getting smashed in side control. Not so much to bridge your opponent off of you, but to like maneuver your hips so that you're facing your opponent if rolling away and trying to wrestle up or rolling away to turtle isn't something you're confident in doing. So he would be trying to buggy choke you, and we saw this at the very end of the last stream, either the last gi or maybe it was in last no gi stream. Joe, as long as you've got your crossface arm on this side of his head where it is right now, he can't buggy choke you. Once you switch to the reverse crossface, or rather the reverse underhook, like the underhook on the far side of his body with that head side arm, then you're in danger of a buggy choke. But what he can do is, make use of his triangle to try to control your head and shoulders, pull your head and shoulders down away from his, and use that to control you, create space, negate a submission threat, all sorts of things, which I think he and Danny are both pretty proficient at. And Mike gets, I think he got an outside heel hook on me. Which leg did he have there? Oh no, it was an inside heel hook. Let's look at that real quick. So this is the position we were in right before I rewound. So I hit a little guard pass here. Step my leg out. Get to north-south, where Mike is notorious for just bridging and rolling all of us over. So I had to shut down that threat initially. And he has the underhook position on me, which I don't particularly like. Maybe that's just not my game. But yeah, this leg entrance he had was sick, and it happened so fast. Like, I think both of us didn't really even know what happened. So I'm glad we get to go over it here. So okay, I jump up, and I'm trying to work a knee on belly position. He creates some good space, and notice what his left leg does here. It pummels in between my two legs to the front, to where now my left leg is on the left side of his body. He's got both of his legs outside of my hips and can very easily just put me down. Now we're in a 50-50 position. I have zero attempt on his ankle and he's got full access to mine that he's already working on from an early time. So I just had to take the L on that one. That was sick. Oh, Danny, what are you gonna do here, man? Oh, God. That was a good exchange. Everything about this standing exchange would give me anxiety if I was you. Alright, let's give Lenny his due. It's working from side control. Oh, alright. Nice. So everything goes off screen, but we could see the setup. I think you guys can see the setup here. I thought it was going to be on that near side arm. But he gets up. Danny turns towards the left, leaving his right arm up. Good step around. Way to keep that heavy pressure with the head side leg. That was good, Caleb. So this whole exchange, though, like, what you have here, Danny, is... First off, like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just saying this from my 5'5" perspective, but like, it's impressive that you can get that grip. This is like a traditional, I don't want to say traditional, but a common grip you might see in like Greco-Roman wrestling or Sambo. I know a finish that Bertram likes from here is really just sitting through, like, this leg of yours just kind of straightening out, going along the mat. You're not trying to step on your foot, and you're just trying to sit your hips in the direction indicated, and taking Caleb out over, taking Caleb's head and shoulders out over his feet and putting him down that way. Easier said than done, especially on a bigger opponent. I like your switch here to the front headlock. Fell right to the good side. Caleb just stayed composed. Hit the re-roll. So what happened? Did he extend? It's hard to tell, Danny, if like maybe he did extend you, because yeah, your feet don't get in a spot to where you like jump. So I think he like presses your hips off of him, and then he tries to get you, I think, with a similar grip, and then you come out on top since you still had the head under control. That was great. Ooh, immediate strangle threat, but he starts to get his shoulders to the mat. What were Mike and I getting into? We were having a good takedown battle, maybe. Oh, yeah. So I think, let's see my foot placement on that one. I don't know if I tried an Uchimata or if it was more of the Haragoshi across both legs. I think I may have been trying to get both legs there. And he might hit it on me. Yeah. Pointing out a giant scratch I got on my leg from one of you from not trimming your nails like I tell you to do at the end of every stream. Man, great roll from Caleb and Danny. That was awesome. That's right. Definitely wasn't James. Wait, did I miss a tap? Oh, okay. Shit, my bad. I mean, classic Darce. I would expect nothing less from Danny. Right at the bell, too? Damn, how embarrassing, Caleb. Alright, let's look at this takedown with Austin and Mike. So Mike really fought through on this one. I want to see what the setup was. So Austin gets his underhook. Mike has a whizzer. Okay, Mike is set up for kind of a Kani Basami like leg scissor. Austin drops, which I'm totally fine with, so you don't get your leg snapped, and Mike just drives through on it. Okay. Everybody's so busy. Caleb, what do you do to me here? I think Caleb just hits his sacrifice though that he likes. That was really good. Good defense, Austin. So yeah, it looks like you guys are going over that now. Talking heel exposure, it looks like, and all that stuff. It's good. You ended up in a leg lock, and you managed to escape to a close guard position. So, and Mike left his arm behind there for you. Gotta jump on that. James with the blue belt flare. Digging it. I missed Austin getting to the back. Y'all moving too fast. Every time I look away. Oh, sweet. All right, so you're going from guard. Nice. Really nice. Way to dig on the arm. You're right there. All right, all right. Mike's making it difficult for you. But you already had an underhook in, so that's good. Oh, and I think I was making my goal to triangle Caleb here. I mean, not right now, obviously, but during this roll. For talking smack to me earlier in the night. Using the body triangle on the bottom side. And you can see, I think we went over this last time I taught back control. We talked about it in the gi, but the same applies here. When you go to the bottom side triangle, like you have here, Austin, this isn't a bad spot by any means. Like, this is very controlling. Mike's hip has basically locked your foot in place, which, you know, locks him in a body triangle. What it does is there is some space that develops right between your knee and his hip here, which he can turn through. Makes it a little easier for him. I don't want to say easier for him to escape, but it since he's falling away from that knee, a little bit of space gets created. It gives him a little bit of wiggle room, which it looks like he takes advantage of here. Or at least he's trying to. You switch. I like how much you're switching your leg position, adapting to where he's going. It's important. And I imagine he's trying to dig in on a leg on you, it looks like. Judging by his leg position, yeah. Oh, is this? I think this is what started you guys having the conversation about you taking the back from this outside Ashigarami. I saw you guys going over that at some point. That must have been around this. This is kind of the position where if you guys go back and look at, I can't remember which match, but with Gordon Ryan and Felipe Pena, Gordon Ryan was in, I want to say, on an outside Ashigarami on Pena. Pena used it to take his back, and that's what Mike was showing you, Austin, I think after this roll. It always feels good hitting the sweep on Caleb after being smashed for minutes. So I managed to get back to half guard. And then I think, oh yeah, that's what it was. I hit, so when you guys switch to this position where you're in like the, you could call it similar to the reverse Kesa, right? But you're in half guard, you're switched to where you're looking at the feet, you're on your hip. You got to be really mindful of grips coming around your head and across your face. That's what I get here on Caleb. So it's difficult to see, but like you see my hand reaching up, going across the face here. Caleb doesn't have the ability at this point to base out in the direction I start to take him. So he may be attacking my legs, but that's really just, since our legs are tangled, it's making it easier for me to come up. I have to worry that I don't get caught in like deep half, right? Which he's threatening here. So I just switching him out. And then I start looking for my triangle because I really, really wanted to triangle him. So he manages to get out, and I manage to get right back. But only at 30 seconds. So the way Caleb was shutting this down, both times really, you can't. I guess you can't see it here. He does it. It's a little less effective. He had his both arms in, or he was trying to force his arm in, making it really difficult for me to hit a triangle. This one, his arm was a little bit more out than the first one. I had a much bigger fight on my hands. But this one, he had, the grip was enough to make it impossible for me to actually set up a triangle. So, way to hold through on that and deny me my satisfaction. I think if I had more time, I may have opted to try to hit an armbar there. Let's see how Mike and Austin finished. Ooh, Mike getting tricky. So we talked about this earlier. Mike is really, really good at isolating arms from north-south. And you can watch him on this. Well, he already has the grip set up. Let me see if I can catch it further back. Looks like maybe he set it up early enough. It's coming around here. He may have it here already. Yeah, it looks like he's got the one-arm Kimura position on Austin from north-south. And notice, this is great. Notice what Mike's doing. Anytime we go over Kimuras in class, I really try to emphasize this with you guys. His elbow is close to Austin's elbow, and he's lifting this Kimura with his elbow. He's not trying to yank his arm back to get Austin's arm behind his back. He's lifting with the elbow and putting the arm where he wants it and getting torque on it. That was sick. Alright, let's skip ahead. What happens here? Okay, Caleb and Brooke. Oh yeah, Austin. This is what I was talking about, where you guys were going over the outside Ashigarami back take setup. This is gonna be a muffler fest between Brooke and Caleb. Let's fast forward a bit. Get to the good stuff. So Brooke was losing mount there and dismounted, but still stayed in the top dominant position, which sometimes you just gotta do. Nice, Caleb. So Caleb, you got to work on getting. Yeah, there you go. That's one way to do it. I was gonna say she had you under the guillotine, so you got to get your posture back. Good. And yeah, you start working the standing guard break. Good pressure too. Brooke doesn't like to stay down, and she's very adept at standing up just from her wrestling background, and also like the doing jiu-jitsu half of her life background. Setting up for the arm triangle, it looks like. So that was really nice. God, Brooke is too bendy. I like what you're doing here, Caleb, where you're working two things, two submission threats, right? You have the threat of the arm triangle, even if your right side arm isn't under her neck, like cross facing. Getting your head into the position is oftentimes threatening enough, but at the same time you're still working the Americana. So when she pulls her elbow down, what she wants to do to shut down your arm triangle, she pulls it into a dangerous spot for the Americana. I don't know how her bones didn't break there, and then that was just rude. All right, cool. Let's find the earth-shaking takedown I get on Brooke. Brooke, I see you lurking in the chat. Get your revenge for the really good takedown you had on me earlier. And it was actually set up from the same, I believe Brooke was attempting the same takedown that she did earlier, that Caleb also got me in. So my feelings were really hurt, and I just didn't want it to happen again. Let's see. Just because you're here, Brooke, why not? I'll find it so you can look at your takedown that you got on me. Bam, whipping me around like a rag doll. Taking a good top position. Fast forward to, where is it? Let's look at it in regular speed so it's a little more realistic. I felt bad how flat your back was when you hit. All right, I'm not just doing this to be mean. I want to see the footwork here. So you would cut your angle on me, and like to the point where if you would hit, let's see, you were straddling my legs. So had you hit this, your back foot would have tripped me. I would have gone over like a sack of potatoes again. Instead, I'd lower my posture as much as I can to pull you down with me, elevate with the Uchimata, you know, my thigh right into your hip to break your connection with the ground, and then just slam you on your back. Can I get a bam in the chat, please? Anybody? Steven, where you at? Hit me with the bams earlier. Right here, one more time. Felt you stepped around for it, and whoops-a-daisy. Cool. That looked great. I got looked up. I was like, did anybody see that? There we go. That's what's up. Unfortunately, it wasn't as dominant for the whole match. But I'll take one cool move. Pity bams. Yeah, if you have to ask for bams, they're pity bams. Kind of along the lines of what I said earlier with the feints and the shots, right? Like one after another is often good. Kind of working the same principle with these ankle picks. People don't often expect the same move attempted twice. Here there's a little variation. You know, I hit one leg, then I really hit the other. But I get her step in. She leaves the other leg forward, so I opt to try to hit that one. Again, didn't totally work out. Well, I guess it did kind of work out for me because I break her arm here. And again, just a different variation on the foot or like the leg position here on the armbar. So trying to get the roll, and then what this leg position does. I mean, it looks weird, right? I don't have any, I don't have a leg over her face or anything like that. But if you think about it, if she wants to roll up, it's gonna be difficult for her, one, because of my foot in her face. But if she tries to hitchhike escape or do the rolling escape, we always emphasize how that escape is all about getting your head out from underneath the hips. Right now, my other foot is behind her head, which means there's no way her head is going to roll out from underneath my hips. So I've got her locked into a good spot. I have really good control over her shoulder, and then I can focus on the break, which I'm doing over my hip. Super fun scramble all the way through. And unfortunately, I think the GoPro battery died. So we get about 2 minutes left on this roll. But it's alright, you didn't do anything to me, so I can't have you guys claiming that I edited out footage of me getting my ass beat. Not that I would do that anyway, but it's happened enough tonight. I think my foot's caught. I was trying to kip out of that. Look at Danny and Matt throwing fists, getting it in. Look at that form. That's Rocky Balboa. Ah, of course. So I guess this last little point of the night. Again, working the T Kimura position as a guard pass. This is a, let's see, before I get too ahead of myself. This is a bit more of the traditional position that I was alluding to with when Austin and I were doing it. My legs caught in her half guard, turn to face the legs, set up my Kimura, and then use, get my hips up high, put my head to the mat right there, using my free leg to kind of kip and hike my legs out, and then falling up over top into that more perpendicular position to then set up a back take. And that's where it ends. You don't want to see the rest of what happened. Oh, hello. Two of me. How do I turn that off? There we go. Cool. Great stuff. Sorry it had to cut off the last round there. I think Danny and Brooke had another one after that, so I will make sure that my knockoff Chinese GoPro isn't dying prematurely next time. In any case, thanks for putting up with just me tonight. Mike should be back on the next stream. I think he's out traveling right now, so I hope I caught everything. I didn't have a second set of eyes to help me out with it. So in any case, as always, if there's stuff you guys want to go over, thank you, James. Bring it to class and we'll hit it. I know we did a lot of that this week, so hope you guys took away some good stuff. We'll have this up on YouTube in the next day or two. And if you like what you're doing, or if you like what you're seeing, rather, if you like what we're doing, follow us, subscribe, all that good stuff. Throw some gift subs around like Deathcore, which again, really appreciate, man. You can support us at coffee.com/MOBJJ. And other than that, you can support us by getting your asses to class and training hard with us. Thank you, Brooke. Good job to you too. Yo, Crab Man, I think I know who you are. I'm just gonna assume that I did my homework a while ago and I was right, and that you're Gavin, and this is the first time you've popped up in the stream. Pretty sure that's you, Gavin. Get your ass back to class too, bud. I don't care how busy you are with school. Drop out of school. Come roll. I'm just kidding. Don't clip that and repost that. Yeah, thanks a lot, guys. Really appreciate it. And yeah, go trim your nails, do your laundry. Don't be stinky. Don't scratch me up again like you guys did. One of you guys. I won't say who. And we will see you on the mats. Take it easy, everyone. Yeah, you better, cuz. See you, bud.